This book, Worlds Beyond the Poles, is very interesting. It's about the extended plane Earth. This book was copyright 1959 by F. Amadeo Giannini. This first picture is hard to see, but it's 65 miles up. This atmospheric photograph of a small part of the Earth's sky taken from a V-2 rocket 65 miles up shows the globular illusion and photographic distortion as expressed by Giannini. I'm going to read the preface because it's the most important. The following pages contain the first and only description of the realistic universe of land, water, oxygen, and vegetation, where human and other forms of animal life abound. This is not a work of fiction, nor is it a technical analysis of anything. It is a simple recital of fact which transcends the most elaborate fiction ever conceived. It is diametrically opposed to the assumptions and the mathematical conclusions of theorists and technicians throughout the ages. It is truth. These pages describe the physical land routes from the Earth to every land area of the universe about us, which is all land. Such routes extended from beyond the North Pole and South Pole, so-called ends of the Earth, as conceded by the theory. It will here be adequately shown that there are no northern and southern limits to the Earth. It will thereby be shown where movement straight ahead from the pole points and on the same level as the Earth permits of movement into celestial land areas appearing up or out from the Earth. An original treatise basic to this book was written and has been expounded at the American universities in 1927 and 1930. Since then, the U.S. Naval Research Bureau and the U.S. Navy Exploratory Forces have conclusively confirmed the work's principal features. Since December 12, 1928, U.S. Navy polar expeditions have determined the existence of indeterminable land extent beyond both pole points, out of bounds of the assumed isolated globe Earth as postulated by the Copernican theory of 1543. On January 13, 1956, this book was being prepared. A U.S. Navy air unit penetrated to the extent of 2,300 miles beyond the assumed South Pole end of the Earth. That flight was always over land and water and ice. For very substantial reasons, the memorable flight conceived negligible press notice. The United States and more than 30 other nations prepared unprecedented polar expeditions from 1957 to 1958 to penetrate land now proved to extend without limit beyond both pole points. My original disclosure of then known land beyond the poles in 1926 to 1928 was captioned by the press as, quote, more daring than anything Jules Verne ever conceived, unquote. Today, 30 years later, the United States, Russia, Argentina, and other nations have bases on the realistic land extent which is beyond the Earth. It is not space as theory dictated. It is land and water of the same order that comprise known Earth territory. This work provides the first account of why it is unnecessary to attempt shooting up or out from the terrestrial level for journey to any of the astronomically named celestial land areas. It relates why such attempt would be futile. These pages present incontrovertible evidence that the same atmospheric density of the Earth prevails throughout the entire universe. Such a feature proves that, except for the presence of a gaseous sky envelope and underlying oxygen content equivalent to that of the Earth, we could never observe the luminous celestial areas designated as a star or planet. It is shown here that the determination of realistic cosmic values, the observed luminous areas of the universe about us represent celestial sky areas, and that they are continuous and connected as all areas of this Earth's continuous and connected sky. Hence, it is shown that there are no globular or isolated bodies to be found throughout the whole universe. These are elements of lens deception. Accordingly, the absence of the celestial bodies precludes any possibility of bodies circling or ellipsing in space. This work is radically and rightfully opposed to the astronomical conclusions of all ages. It depicts the illusions developing from all telescopic observations and photographs of the universe about us. It clearly explains and vividly illustrates why those lens-developed illusions have been mistakenly accepted as fact. The book is therefore unparalleled in the long history of man's attempt to The book is therefore unparalleled in the long history of man's interpretation, and recordings of the universe about us. It projects man's first understanding of the factual and endless universe which contains human life throughout its vast length and width, regardless of all abstract theory to the contrary. So this book brings a lot to the table. You can download it for free. All you got to do is Google it. This book really does point in the direction of extended land. And that would be where we get the words extraterrestrial. Terrestrial means of the earth. Extra of the earth. Does it make sense now? Check out this book when you have a minute. And always light up the dark.